Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning to the ladies and gentlemen. Will the meeting please come to an order? Alright, before we going to start the meeting, let us begin first by reciting the dua for the Muslim and the prayer for other religion as well. For the Muslim, let us recite the dua by starting Surah Al-Fatihah. Alright, before we going to start in the early morning today, I will introducing the meeting by starting with myself, Mr. Said Zarif, as the chairperson of this company. And then we are going to go for my secretary, Miss Awatif, and she will going to handle all the presentation for our meeting, including recording the video as well. Next, we have a committee members, Mr. Arabin and Miss Alicia, who are going to giving some description of our meeting proposal today. And finally, last but not least, we have a participant, Mr. Lahairo, who will going to being the observer or giving a question if he having a simple or maybe a harder question through his mind as well. All right. The purpose of our meeting today is that we are going to having a discussion about our proposal, which is the community service for the fishermen at Kuala Nerus. Okay, Miss Awatif, my secretary, if you can give me the presentation, please.
Right, sir.
Okay, we're going to have wait first. Alright, thank you very much, Awatif. You can go to the scroll. We're going to go for the introduction. Alright, thank you very much. Alright, as you all can see, we can go to the introduction first. As the intro, we can see that most of the fishermen's job today is not only dominated by the villagers, but we can see the urban dwellers living in the coastal areas begin to venture into this area as well. Well, the study shows that there are still many fishermen who still having a problem and belongs to the category of the rural poor. The fishery category is based on the finances of the poor and the poorest monetary term, while the non-monetary category refers to the level of the fisherman involvement in fish penetration activities, whether full or part-time and technology use. Okay, that is the introduction for the proposal in that we're going to have a discuss today. Next, I will pass the button to our committee, Mr. Arabin, who will describe more details about the issue. I give it to you, Mr. Arabin.
Thank you, Chairperson Mr. Saizaref. Now I will explain further about the issue arising, which is currently Kuala Nerus, the meteorology department has issued a warning as of server gets up to 50 kph and wave as high as 3.5 meter due to persistent rains and thunderstorms. And then due to the problem stated above, will give a big causes to the fishermen's household increases. It is because Kuala Nerus fishermen was practice income sharing system among themselves. For example, from the total net pay, the income they are getting will be shared among themselves, which is 50% will be given to the owners and another 50% will be distributed to the crews, which is the fishermen. And then so that the approximately income or a fisherman will just receive about USD 250, which is equal to RM 1040 ringgit only from fishing activity. This amount will not be enough to fulfill their family's burdens. So it is proposed that community service program for fishermen in Kuala Nerus be set up to help the fishermen and their family members with no monthly income. So now further agenda program will be explained by our another committee member, Miss Alicia.
Thank you, Mr. Aravin. Our project name is Community Service Program for Fishermen in Kuala Nerus, Terengganu. It will be held in 30 July until 31st July 2021, and it will be start from 7:30 a.m. until 9 p.m. There are two goals that our program will achieve, which is the first one is to mold the personality and understand the concept of cooperation and mutual help each other. Second, to raise funds to help fishermen reduce the burden faces. The location that will be held at Kampung Seberang Taki, Kuala Nerus, Terengganu. We have chosen this location because we have found that due to non-stop persistent rain and thunderstorm and the damage development conservation activity. Our target community are 50 family, which is they are work as fishermen, and we have 20 students from University Malaysia Terengganu, UMT, to become facilitator, and 4 collaborator, which is that will be joined in our program, which is Fishermen Association, Fishermen Department, Agro Bank, and Marine Fish Farmer Association. About the promotional plan will be explained by our secretary, Miss Awatif.
Okay, thank you, Miss Alicia. So, I will going to explain about the activities that we are planned to do. So the first activities that we plan to do is we are going to have a fundraising. So this fundraising is to collect the donations from the public to assist the fisherman's family. So how is the fundraising going to be held? Is we are going to have a car wash event. From the car wash event and from the car wash event, we are going to encourage the people to donate some cash and clothes while they're waiting for the car wash while they're waiting we wash their car. And then we also plan to apply from the Maidin supermarket to get a sponsor to provide a basic needs for 50 fishermen's family. Secondly is we are going to hold a small workshop for the families from two well-known entrepreneur. So this well-known entrepreneur will teach the fishermen how to repair repair their boats and uh how to be safe while they were at the sea. Finally, we'll be holding some activities such as games, dancing, lucky draws, and other stuff to help them relax uh, while preparing for this event. Okay, next is the promotional plans. We will promote about the community program by encourage the people outside by using social media and poster. Uh, this is how we are going to promote this community program and encourage the students to join our program. Where we're going to make a poster and post it in using social media, using our social media and post it at the faculty. Okay, that's all from me. I'll pass it on to Mr. Aravin.
Sorry, Miss Alicia will explain about the operational cost.
Thank you, Ms. Awatif and Mr. Aravin. For the operational cost, the total that we might spend for our program is 9,223 ringgit 50 cent, which is we need to buy car wash material, gotong royong material, workshop material, and others. Lastly, about the anticipted outcome will be explained by Mr. Aravin.
Thank you, Miss Alicia. From the program that we are conducting, which is community service program for fishermen in Kuala Nulus, Biseta, which will from this program, the outcomes that the participant will be gained from was the firstly, the students and the villagers will receive positive improvement in term of mood or emotion, because this is because it is because now is pandemic COVID-19, right? So their for so that their mood will be a swing, so this program will help. And then secondly, they will able to develop closer relationship, and also they will get to know each other more and closely, and also can improve their skills in activities also. That's all from the from our us, Mr. Zarif, chairperson.
All right. Thank you to all the committee members and my secretary as well for participate in our meeting today. All right, before we going more further or we're going into the conclusion, is there any question that from your our observer, Mr. Hairo?
Yes, sure. I have some question, but maybe you guys can explain it. So okay. For my first question is whether this program will be run only once or continuously in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Airul. Actually, this program will be run continuously in the future, but we will be have this program in different places. For example, we also can have this program at DSM UNT.
Okay,
Am
thank you.
I am I answer your question?
Yes, yes. You answer my question. Thank you. Okay. I have another another question again. Okay. Whether this program will be continue if the lockdown is still implemented by government, because this program will be carried out at the end of this month.
Yeah, still it will be run uh, because this program will be continued even though there have the lockdown, because the purpose of this program was to reduce the burden. So if we didn't continue the program, then the burdens of the fishermen and their family will be increased. So this will be continued, but following by strict SOPs such as uh, scanning temperature, scanning my sedatra, checking a temperature, body temperature, wearing mask and sanitizer, and also following the social distancing and so on. Is it okay?
Okay. Okay. For the last question, last. I'm sorry. Okay. Who are the VIP guests who will be involved on the last day of the program?
The VIPs are firstly Timbaland Chancellor UMT, and
Oh,
then secondly Fishing Association, and then thirdly Agrobank, because they are because Agrobank is the one of the sponsor to this program. And
oh.
also Maidin I executive, which is they also sponsors us materials such as basic necessities to the fisherman's family.
Okay, okay. Thank you, Mr. Ravi.
All right, is that all the question for Mr. Hairo?
Yes, yes. That's all for me.
Okay, for the question all that giving to Mr. Hairo to all of us, I really quite agree and the answer from Mr. Arabin as well, because during the pandemic we now have to have some steps, verified steps, which means that we must have the SOP, follow the SOP because of the pandemic, including giving our the program for the proposal as well. Well, for the last session, before we're going to jump to the conclusion, I'm going to ask again to all the committee, my secretary and the participant, is there any question for the final to ask? All of you, is there any question to ask?
Uh, Mr. Said Zarif,
Yes?
can I want to say something for suggestion for this program?
All right, go on. You can
Okay,
talk.
okay. This my opinion lah. Uh, we know a total financial assistant of assistant for 300 ringgit for each specimen will be given, right? So, in my opinion, can we increase the value of financial assistance to 500 ringgit?
All right,
Yeah.
for the suggestion, I really quite agree with your suggestion as well. Mr. Arabin, don't you think it's a good idea?
Yes,
Okay,
I
just
think it's a
that's it
good
for me.
idea. Yes, I think it's a good idea. And then actually the by increasing the amount also will be decrease more burdens on their family members. Is it okay, Zarif, chairperson?
Yes, I really quite agree, and I also giving the our success to the green light. We go further more for our proposal program as well. So, is there any thing more question to ask before we're going to jump to the conclusion of our meeting today?
I have a question to ask.
Okay, carry on.
As stated in the proposal that we are going to ask Maidin, we're going to apply from the Maidin for the basic needs, right? So what if Maidin is not agree with the is not agree to what we call to apply with to agree with our proposal? Do we have any backup plan?
Yeah, we have a backup, which is actually we are the program is carried by our possessor students, so we still can use the money from our uh, possessors Bandahari. We can seek the money from them and buy some, at least can buy little things for them. What do you think, Miss Elisha?
I think we have our sponsor, which is Agrobank, to fulfill their needs for the fishermen. I think if Maiden cannot fulfill our sponsor, we can choose Agrobank as our VIP person for the needs for the needs. That's all for me.
All right. Thank you to all the participants, the committee, and the secretary for the session Q&A for our proposal. And I think as the conclusion, maybe this program can be proceed as well, because I think most of the problems such as the pandemic, even the pandemic go through in our country for 1.5 years, but we still going to have to follow the rule of the SOP and much more. But I think even though sometimes kind of the solution, it could be no problem for us to just proceed the program as well, as long we just follow the rule of the company, sorry, of the government. So in the conclusion, I can say that this proposal is going to be succeeded, it's going to be proceed as not and not going to be rejected by me. And I think that's all the meeting for our discussion today. Thank you for all the participants, to my secretary and Mr. Arvin and Ms. Alicia as the committee for joining us to have a meeting for our discussion today. All right, before we're going to close our meeting, let us reciting the dua for the Muslim, Surah Al-As and Tasbih Kafarah, and for the other religion as well to having a prayer. Prayer. All right. Thank you for everyone. We're going to have a dismiss. Thank you for joining again. Assalamualaikum.